let's get to the elephant in the room here.
Yes.
Philadelphia. I want to hear your take first on how Philadelphia's season ended here.
Tragically. Okay. What I seen was a team where I think Doc Rivers lost it somewhere in here. Like he did not make the proper adjustments whatsoever to get Philly in position. Philadelphia was not supposed to lose this series. Let me say that I'm all in on Atlanta. Let me be very clear. Atlanta wasn't supposed to win this series.
No,
at all. And from game one, it was a tone setter. Like Atlanta came in there and punched them smack dab in the mouth.
Where in the mouth?
Like, okay, and what? What? We taking this game. I mean, and it from that, it was just this knockout, drag out, slop fest that we were seeing.
Yeah.
With flashes of brilliance and on both sides. But I have to now. There's a focus, of course, is Philadelphia. What the hell? Embiid shooting threes.
Turning the ball over at the top of the key.
Ben Simmons. I'm not even going to say the obvious. Everything Ben Simmons did and did not do. Emphasis on did not do.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris. Are you a 3? Are you a 4? Are you a shooting guard? What are you? And I want to rebound when it matters least, type of thing. I ain't never seen somebody have a double-double with 14 rebounds and be so ineffective.
Yeah.
I'm like, Seth Curry, we got this sharpshooter. We don't run no plays for him. He has to create on his own because we think for some reason he's Seth. I don't know. He don't play like that. I've never seen. I've seen it. I've never seen it in a while. I haven't seen in a while a coach have so much talent and not know what to do with it. I understand you just got here, Doc. And I keep prefacing the coach because I really had a real problem with him in this series. Not so much the players. I had a problem with him.
I had a problem with him all year. It started when he got the job with Philadelphia, I was excited because I said I thought Doc was going to get on Ben Simmons' ass and say, hey, this is what we need from you. If you can't be that, we're going to have to make changes. I thought that's what Doc was coming in to do. And I was hoping that was the case. And I know Doc is not the man of adjustments and this, that, the other, but when you lose a job in LA and that is all this dysfunction, I did think that there was going to be a switch, but I was clearly wrong. He came in his very first press conference said, I don't think Ben Simmons needs to change a thing. And when he said that, I immediately had an issue with Philadelphia, the entire organization. Because if you are going to, after 4 years of watching Ben Simmons do what he did in the situation between Ben Simmons and Embiid and say nothing needs to change, where the hell have you been?
Right.
For 4 years? I'm watching basketball from afar. I'm not there on the court side with you, but I can already tell that there's a lot of changes that needed to be made in Philadelphia. Even in the year that it was Jimmy Butler and they had the best situation to go, if they would have just ran that back, I think that easily they would have won the East. But
Definitely
even with that, I knew that they still needed to make changes. But for you to come in and to just straight up say that there's no changes that need to be made, I think we can run it back and we'll be just fine. That was the most tone deaf and most idiotic thing I've heard Doc Rivers ever say. And I had it, and just criticizing and looking at Philadelphia all season long, I had a real issue that he never came out until they lost in Game 7 and really admitted the fact that Ben Simmons needs to make changes. He needs to be held accountable, I think, is really the issue.
Yeah, they Absolutely. I don't know. I mean, you explaining that about Doc. It almost sounds like he came in not wanting to step on anybody's toes. Like, I don't want to cause any no ruffles in there. I'm like, dude, you're the head coach.
Yeah,
You're in here to do that.
you're here. They hired you because you are a great head coach and somebody who can really create a scheme that does win games.
Man, I got a hot take. I don't know. You say all this great head coach thing. Maybe he was just a good coach that just got lucky in Boston.
That was going to be my point. I think
ahead.
that might have been it, and that does. I think that's the what coming into the situation with Philadelphia. That's what we thought, but I think this year proved that he's just good at what he does. He's not great.
And there's nothing wrong with having a good coach.
You are a tier 2 head coach that can win, obviously, the NBA Finals. You can do that with a tier 2 head coach, but don't try to. After that press conference, like in hindsight, after that press conference, don't ever try to come and tell me that Doc Rivers is one of the best head coaches in the NBA. He is not on the same level as Pop. For that matter, he's not on the same level as some of these NCAA head coaches.
Fair. I won't even dispute that. I'm just like I just think he's a good, like you said, he's a good coach.
Yeah,
we should leave it at that. And he's not the elite. He's not at the I don't want to get into we get into ESPN. Oh, top 10 coaches coming in at 10. Doc Rivers. Come on. No. But you're seeing all of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go a little further with this. Can I go a little further with this? Philadelphia.
Y'all with me, congregation?
Can I go a little further with this? Okay. I do what I do find impressive about Philadelphia. I'm not really a big fan on them. However, I do like this. I like their guards.
Yeah,
they have a very nice guard core.
I'm out. Are you in the committee of Ben Simmons is a guard, or are you in the committee of Ben Simmons is a forward?
Ben Simmons is a forward.
Okay,
leave it alone.
I had to make a clarification for the viewers.
Don't go to Ben Simmons because we got to go back because we got to clean up our takes of him. We got to clean up the trade
I will say this. I do believe this is going to be its own podcast. This is going to be its own episode, so we can go into all of it. I'll break it up.
Okay.
The Eastern playoffs, we've already wrapped that. We'll make.
I kind of figured that was because you didn't say anything. Okay. So no Ben Simmons. I'm talking about Seth Curry, Tyrese Maxey, and Matisse Thybulle.
Okay.
That's a. Hey, notice I did not say George Hill. George Hill, you're about to retire.
Kick rocks.
Yeah.
But no,
they got some very nice young. Seth is not young, but he's young enough.
Yeah, but you got the offensive guy, Seth Curry. You've got the defensive guy, Matisse Thybulle, who I do believe he's super young, so he could still develop an offensive game. He just hasn't found that niche in this offense yet.
Hybrid.
And then you got this middle dude, Tyrese Maxey. Man, he is, as a rookie, he came in and really showed me something that I did not think. I didn't know him until the beginning of this series, honestly. I mean, you brought him up when we were talking about the Wizards, but you had to latch on to something to even watch that series.
Yeah, not until that series. I didn't have heard of him.
Yeah,
but I seen something then, and he's just nice, man.
Yeah.
He's not showing. Oh my God, he's the number one guard. I'm trying to get out of the free agency
for 14 and a half minutes per game. He is truly. He's very efficient in the time that he is on the court.
Yes,
he doesn't waste time.
No, he makes use of anything they need him to do. He does it.
Yeah.
And specifically, he plays defense in a defenseless league, and I'm like, that is gold.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't out there looking like, oh my God, I gotta go out here and stick this guy, and he's like it's a chore. Like, nah, this is what he does. That's how you know people when they play defenders. There's no question about it. They don't think about it. It's just what I do. I'm like, dude, you put that ball in front of me, I'm taking it. Simple as that. He's that dog on the defensive end. Shake Milton, I think he's a nice piece.
Yeah.
I think they need to find a way to get him more time and get him spliced in there a little bit more.
My issue with Shake Milton is that he needs so much time to get going.
Is that what it is?
That to me, I when he's in there for 10 plus minutes, you start to see him get going. If he gets to that 20-minute mark where he's been in for a while, he's fantastic. But then, I mean, you see 5 minutes in this last game, couldn't do it anything.
Nah. Some players, I was gonna say he's not that guy. I was gonna say some players can't play in.
He's not Tyrese Maxey. Where if you ask Tyrese Maxey to go in for 5 minutes, he'll get it done in 5 minutes. He'll do exactly what he needs to.
Dwight Howard can't get it done in 7. So I mean, just it's just some players.
Also, Dwight Howard. That was the first time he played in the whole series, basically.
Wow, Dwight. Oh yeah, this was a take. I mean, he played in Atlanta.
Yeah,
and he's from
from
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Ah, what a tragic story. Moving on. So you got all of these. Of course, I guess you can add Korkmaz. About him. In him too. They got a really good guard play.
Yeah.
Overall, now with that being said, that guard play in no way, shape, or form outside of Seth Curry can complement Ben Simmons. Unfortunately,
no.
They all do other things, but as far as complementing his game,
Matisse Thybulle is Ben Simmons light.
Yeah.
Which that is not a shot at Matisse Thybulle, by the way. That is actually praise.
No, I knew what you meant.
I just didn't want the viewers to confuse what I was saying there.
Now, we had a take, and we were on this back and forth, the whole Embiid and Simmons thing.
We getting into that right now?
We don't have to, but
I mean, it is his
I'm
own show.
I'm gonna let you finish. Oh, if it's his own show, then why we can talk about whatever.
We don't have to beat around the bush with this Philadelphia thing. We can get into it.
So, but that's where I really want to go. Anyway, that's where it's going anyway.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't want to start with the take, and then I'm gonna get to. I got some. I've come up with a few things, and which was interesting because now let me just say what I gotta say. I'm not saying anything by saying
just
nothing. Go. Right. Okay, so we had this big issue about do we get rid of Embiid or do we get rid of Simmons? Because
we talked about that a few months ago.
Right. Our take was about this unit don't work.
Mm-hmm.
This I'm still of the opinion it don't work. Personally. Okay. Want to make sure we still on the same page. Now, the question is at hand is, do you get rid of Embiid or get rid of Simmons? Mm-hmm. I still say, for injury purposes, it's Embiid.
I am surprised because I have this exact same take.
Do you? Okay. I'm gonna let you get it. Then you know what? I want you to finish because I'll just file it because I've been talking for a minute and I've been rambling.
No,
so
you're fine.
Go ahead.
My issue, so Ben Simmons' trade value is at an all-time low. There is no way you are going to get the correct compensation for what Ben Simmons actually is and what he can be. Now, for one thing, people keep talking about he's right-handed, but he's been shooting with his left hand. He's been shooting with the wrong hand. He is not right-handed, people. This man is ambidextrous. He does things with both his left and right hand. That is why he has been shooting with his left hand, because he doesn't know which hand is his dominant shooting hand. Yes, he writes with his right, but he does almost everything else with his left, which is almost the exact same thing that I do.
What?
Yes. So he doesn't know what hand he's supposed to be shooting with. He grew up shooting with his left all the time, but he just thought he was just a bad shooter. That is the situation, and I have a real issue with people talking about him like he just decided that he was going to shoot with his left because for whatever. He's ambidextrous. That's why he's shooting with his left.
Okay.
Now, yes, he's going to switch to his right hand, and maybe that is the issue. Maybe he does just suck as a shooter, and that's fine. My issue is, for one, you don't take the shot. I don't care if you make it. Same thing with Giannis. I don't care if you hit it. Take the shot, because if you're coming up the court with the ball in your hand and somebody is literally backtracking into the paint to guard you instead of coming up and meeting you at the 3-point line, you're clogging everything in this scheme.
Okay.
Because of Joel Embiid. Now, if you trade away Joel, that opens up everything, because first of all, you can get a haul for Joel Embiid. because for some reason people are valuing a person who can't play more than 50 games a season. And that's my issue with Joel Embiid is I literally just said it. Your best ability is availability, and this man is never on the court. And when he is on the court, he's hobbled. And he did have a great couple of games here.
Yeah, that's fine. But taking historically speaking, we've seen this time and time again.
You still can't get past the second round.
How much are we really think you're going to get out of this guy? More so than what you've already seen.
And my issue is because if load management worked, this wouldn't have happened. But it does not work. So why are we talking about it in the first place? Yes, okay, if he doesn't play, if we only play him for 50 games and we sit him every other game and whatever it is, he's going to be just fine. He only played 50 games this season and still got hurt in the playoffs. What are we talking about? So Joel Embiid to me, has a super high trade value right now, and you can get a haul back for him, even with his injury issues. And nobody's going to take Ben Simmons' contract right now, being a max contract. But I think if you trade away Joel Embiid and rebuild around Ben Simmons the way that you should have done this in the first place, where it's just straight shooters and 3-and-D guys basically all around him, this team actually has the ability to make it to the finals.
Okay.
Built around Ben Simmons.
Got it. Okay. Agree with all of that.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you to go first. Now I had some alternative things that came from the series. Some other things came out of this, like,
yeah.
Okay, let's flip-flop it. Let's say we took the side of, we're going to get rid of Ben Simmons. Couple things there. But before we get rid of them, I had a couple of different models. I had a model for how they can stay and how they can make this work in Philadelphia. As is. I'm going to start with that one first.
Yeah, go ahead.
First and foremost, and this why I think this as it was why I started and I went in so hard with Doc, because this is a coaching issue for me.
Yeah.
Because Doc could have fixed this when he first came in and he didn't. First and foremost, and you'd already broke the seal on it by asking me this question. First of all, we need to establish what position Ben Simmons is going to play.
Yeah.
And with that being said, it will not be the one. You're done, brother. You're not a guard. You're 6'10", probably on a good day 6'11". You're going down in the blocks. Oh, we got Tobias Harris. Does not matter. Tobias Harris does not even play the position anyway.
Tobias Harris is a stretch 4.
Thank you. Hell, shit. Down there, stretch 2. You know, I mean, the dude. I mean, he has the body of a 4, but he has the mind and the heart of a guard. I mean, literally. That dude.
I mean, you could even say he's a stretch 3.
Just making a point.
He's just a wing.
Right. Literally. So he's not really your 4 anyway.
Yeah.
So you put Ben of course you got Embiid. You put Ben at the 4, and you put Tobias at the 3, Seth at the 2, and you go and you finally get you a damn playmaker. Unless you're going to use one of the guys off the bench. But I'm saying as you retooling your team. Because I still think they still need another player. Don't get me wrong.
Do you think Thibault could be that guard? That point?
Possibly. However, there's some stuff in the free agency that I looked at.
Okay.
Like, ooh. But I don't want to.
I'm just talking about with what's on the roster right now.
Thibault could be that.
Okay.
I would put him first, then Maxey behind him. Maxey's nice, but Thibault's
too young.
Much better.
Yeah.
He looks way more polished than him.
And I would rather have Tyrese Maxey running my second unit anyway.
You know, nothing.
Not running it, but
coming. You want something coming off the bench. You know, I mean, you can go either or, but I would think, me personally, like you, I would go with Thibault. That's your best bet. Now,
before you go any further, what I would do in this situation, it's gonna be hard. You need to get Tobias Harris off the books. If you're running it back with Ben and Joel Embiid, because also Joel Embiid is eligible for a super max, I believe.
Yeah, he is. And that's fine. I was just saying, remember what I had preferences. I said if you were just gonna run it back with this team, granted you are gonna add a player or 2.
Yeah.
but you left. But these
You're
core
keeping this
members are
core.
staying.
Okay, that's fine.
You know,
Never mind then.
this is just one model.
Gotcha.
I say Tobias is the 3 on offense. Ben is the 4 on
Offense. On defense.
and they flip flop on the opposite. So Ben, you see what I'm trying to?
No, I would have an issue with that because Ben can't play the wing. He can't be the 3 on offense.
Why not?
He can't shoot.
No. He's the 4 on offense. He's the 3 on defense.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that works.
Tobias Harris
You're right.
is the 3 on offense.
I just got it confused. You're right.
And the 4 on defense.
Gotcha.
They flip flop it at the end.
It's gonna be hard.
Switch.
Yeah, it'd be hard for Tobias Harris because I still don't think he's a 4 in the first place. His defense isn't good enough to stop that. But
well, I mean, I'm looking at his bias.
Because you mean if you're looking at who there would be playing in the East, Tobias Harris on KD, Tobias Harris on Giannis, I don't like it. But I do like it offensively.
What I've seen more times than not, I mean, but he's always finishing. He always cleans up more rebounds than Ben Simmons. So I'm not saying Ben Simmons couldn't get more down there, but my point was
if he actually would stay down there, Jesus.
And that's what I said. You really didn't have that. That would be my first thing. If just until we could figure out what the hell we got with Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
But the point being is, you're a 4, dude, and you're gonna play the 4 the rest of the way. From that point on, guys, what it's gonna do is gonna open his game up. He doesn't have to have a jump shot. Granted, he does not have a jump shot, and eventually, he does not necessarily have to have a good one to be anywhere from 5 to 8 feet out. Dude, if you're gonna learn how to shoot anyway, this is where you need to learn how to shoot. You're not gonna be learning how to shoot from a 3-point line.
Yeah,
that just doesn't make any damn sense. And that's what that's been my problem with how they have been evaluating him. They trying to make him something he's not, based on he has so much skill and athleticism in other areas. They have just completely spaced on the shooting aspect. Like, that's not how any shooting coach would even handle a player. If that dude never shot in his life, like say it was like a center or something like that, they don't have them dudes out way past the free throw line shooting jump shots.
My issue though is that there is a entire library of just during the off season, Ben Simmons working on a shot.
Mm-hmm.
He can hit a freaking 3. He can. It's not impossible.
Not saying he can't. Anybody can. Technically.
No. Like it's like on repeat. Like if you just go into YouTube tomorrow night or tonight and just look for Ben Simmons off-season shooting work. He is literally he's basically doing like Ray Allen drills in the corner, just smacking 3s. And I'm like, dude, you clearly can shoot. You just refuse to do it in the game. And my issue is that there's no accountability in Philadelphia to make him do it, because everybody keeps saying he's just like, well, he'll eventually work on it, and if it comes, it comes. But he does so many other great things. But he's been doing so many other great things for 3 years now. Still haven't made it to the finals.
Yeah, but to keep him down the block, I think he can polish his game much quicker. There'll be a much quicker turnaround.
Yeah.
Than what they're trying to do with this point guard spot, where it's not necessary. You don't even need to be the point. Him playing a point, to this day, I don't understand what strength that plays to for him.
But
go ahead.
No, I want you to finish your this scenario, because I do have a question about a trade coming up.
But that's okay. But that's so. I'm just explaining. So what that does, he's down on the block and B's down on the block. So it basically it opens the game up for Seth Curry, your shooter, or a Kuzma.
Korkmaz.
Kuzma. I don't even have it up in front of me. So
yeah, it's fine. I got you. It's Korkmaz.
So you put them you got them at the wings. A defense
and Harris.
And I was about to get there. You got Harris roaming somewhere around the perimeter somewhere. You have no choice but to play them honest by actually going down and guarding Embiid and Simmons sitting down in the paint. You have to defend them. You can't be, we'll just send our little 5 and he'll go out there, or we'll send somebody to go. All that goes away.
Yeah.
I don't understand for the life of me how Doc did not pick this up, dude. You coached in Boston. That's what they did there.
No, you're right.
That's why I was trying to say, I don't think he was trying to not step on somebody's toes when he got there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just this first year, I'm just gonna take it easy. And what the hell? That's why
I got
I'm not understanding for their personnel. That's why I kept just saying, like, why are they using them wrong? They have all the pieces and they all in the wrong areas. Every last one, even to Seth Curry.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest indictment of all. I know the Embiid at the 3 is ridiculous, and it is ridiculous. But this whole, you don't have one freaking registered scheduled play written up for Steph Curry in no way, shape, or form. I'm done, man. Doc, you out of here, bro. You basically fired yourself.
No, I get what you're saying. So
that's my first one.
So that's your first one. I have a question on the trade. Now, there is questions on if this guy even wants to leave. Dame Lillard is in Portland right now in a situation.
This is scenario. Go ahead.
Oh, this is okay.
It's kind of. It's gonna be slightly different. Go ahead.
You trade Joel Embiid because I don't think you can do you. I would if you are gonna move Ben Simmons, I would try to do a trade. If you are gonna go with Portland, this whole CJ McCollum thing, miss me with it. CJ McCollum is not gonna fix the situation in Philadelphia. I refuse to believe that is going to be the solution to it. Doc Rivers had already messed up enough. If that and if who's the GM over there? He came from Houston.
Where?
Philadelphia. The guy who just came from Houston.
Oh,
it's not Sam Presti. That's in OKC.
Philadelphia. Come on.
You guys know what I'm talking about anyway. Viewers all are yelling it at me right now. But he specifically, I don't think there's any way that he is going to ever give up the value that Ben Simmons actually is just to get back CJ McCollum. I don't ever see that happening. Daryl Morey. Yes. There's no way he's going to make that horrible of a value in a trade. I don't think. Now, when it comes to this trade if you do want to trade with Portland and get rid of Ben Simmons, you should be targeting specifically Damian Lillard. I don't care how many draft picks you give up, because if it's Dame Lillard who can hit from 3, you got Seth Curry that can hit from 3, Korkmaz who can hit from 3, Tobias Harris who doesn't have to but can hit from 3, but also can be your just mid-range killer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Embiid just absolutely dominating the block when he's on the court. That is a better situation, and possibly you probably have to send away Matisse Thybulle as well, and a ton of picks. But if that's the case, and you want to get rid of Ben Simmons, and that's just how that things play out, I get that. But I think better would be sending Joel Embiid there for Damian Lillard in return. You'd probably have to give up picks as well, but less picks than you would have to with Joel Embiid. Plus, I believe you would only have to send one player in Embiid over there and not have to give up a young asset in Tyrese Maxey or Matisse Thybulle. So that is what I think is the best. It's just Joel Embiid and picks, get Dame Lillard back, and then you put Ben Simmons down in the block, because now it's not clogged, where you got 2 guys down there and 2 defenders down there. You've only got 1 and 1. Ben Simmons, you just go do your thing, go do the work that you have been doing against just the one defender down in the block. That's fine. Go ahead. Damian Lillard will be the primary ball handler for sure.
Yeah, I hear you. Good finish. I'm sorry.
If you have to keep Tobias Harris there still, I think Tobias Harris needs to be off the roster in general. I'd trade him for whatever assets you can get. Probably trade him for assets to put in the trade for Damian Lillard, maybe.
Okay, you got this through. I got it.
But that is the ideal situation. You have Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard, Seth Curry, Korkmaz, Thybulle, and Maxey coming off the bench. Shake Milton still on the roster. I think that would be the perfect situation for Philadelphia, and they would. To me, I think that puts them in back into the favorites of being the Eastern Conference champions.
That could work. My next take wasn't that elaborate, but again, so from a fundamentalist standpoint, and you gave it to me from the Philadelphia side,
Yeah.
the Portland side, which is fine. No, it's a flip side, which it was. I had to look at it. I was looking at it from a Portland standpoint as opposed to you were looking at it more from a Philadelphia standpoint.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying, and what caused this, which is interesting because now the reports that when I started watching these 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 clips, these takes today, now all of a sudden Ben Simmons being traded is a thing now.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on with the game? Because I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I haven't even turned it on. I can put it on.
Oh, moving on. Lost my train of thought again.
You're talking about Ben Simmons is now in trade talks in the media cycle.
So, which coincidentally, yesterday when they was not having this discussion because the game wasn't even played, I was having this conversation with one of our fantasy football cohorts.
I understand.
Yeah. So, not giving no names away.
Yeah.
But, so we going deep into this. So the whole McCullough thing came up.
Yeah.
Like what did you think about the McCullough going over to Philadelphia? We was just talking in general. And I'm thinking like, why in the world did he bring up this randomly McCullough? Obviously, he must have seen something on TV or something.
Yeah.
It just. So anyway, I didn't see it. So I explained. I said, well, I guess you can know if McCullough was to be traded over to Philadelphia. I mean, I said it can hurt, but my question to him was, will it help and transform their team from where they are right now? Is my question. Will McCullough alone be able to do that? Mm-hmm. I said, if the answer is no, then is that really the way we want to go? That was just kind of how the conversation was going. And then so he was like, "Where's McCullough?" And then I had got one of the power forward confused over there.
Okay.
So, and I said it was Royce O'Neal, which was Royce O'Neal's on another team.
He's on Utah, I think.
Utah, yeah. I got it completely confused. And so he was like, no, it's not Royce O'Neal. It's this other guy. And I'm like,
Nurkic, isn't it?
Nurkic is center.
Is he? Okay.
I think he plays 4 or 5. I'm not exactly sure.
Some big man.
It could be. Man. It could be. I won't say no. I don't know why I was thinking center. He could be
I mean, he prototypically looking at him, he looks like a 4 to me. But again, you're like positionless basketball.
Yeah, and he mentioned another name of another guy, so I was like, Nurkic must have been the center.
Okay.
So so I was still putting Ben Simmons in the 4, and then they send McCullough over there. But my point was, you put Ben Simmons at the 4, and you got and they keep Dame. Dame resigns or whatever because
Covington,
there you go. Because they brought in a Ben Simmons, and then you still got a Carmelo Anthony. No, you're not big on Carmelo Anthony, but he's a shooter.
Yeah, that's fine.
That does not have to do anything but sit there and shoot. With that, and I'm like, with that 3, because my point was like, because at first I was like, man, yeah, they had McCullough. I'm like, oh yeah, they got Melo over there too. But I'm like, man, if they can get him over here, and I'm like, what am I talking about? It takes so much for them to come over here as opposed to you just go over there where they're already there. You just one person. All the pieces are already set up. This was not based on a Damian Lillard getting traded over for the guy. Based on, I'm like, Damian Lillard on some other stuff right now, where he's trying to figure out him, which has nothing to do with Philadelphia's situation.
Well, that's the reason why I brought up.
But I get it
because at this point, because if Dame comes back and is like, hey guys, like, did some reflection, I still love you, and we're gonna loyalty. I'm just sticking with you guys till the wheels fall off, which to me they already have, but whatever. Mm-hmm. That's neither here nor there. Right. But if he wants to stick with him, then obviously there's no way Damian Lillard comes off this roster. But he's already dropped the basically the seeds. He's been doing the Aaron Rodgers thing,
right? I get
where it's like, hey, I don't know. And Yusuf Nurkic is the same thing. I was like, I don't know. We'll have to see what they decide to do in this offseason, because you're going to have to convince me to come back. It's basically how I read both Yusuf Nurkic and Damian Lillard's situation at the end of the year. But so if he decides, hey, like, it's this isn't for me. I'm gonna have to. I need to change. You need to do something, and I need to be gone.
Mhm.
Then I think that makes the most sense for both sides because you're getting the value back in Joel Embiid,
Mhm.
and they're getting the value back for Joel Embiid, and they're getting a guy that actually fits with moving Ben Simmons off the point,
Mhm.
putting him into his forward position, and getting a true primary ball handler he is a dangerous threat to shoot.
Yeah.
So that literally solves everything because they have a guy who's an Iron Man who can play the big man role in Ben
Mhm.
Simmons. Plus, you now have a shooter at the point guard and a shooter at the two guard in Seth Curry. I think it
Yeah.
makes more sense in that situation than Ben Simmons going to.
Yeah, but then that's like what you were saying with the whole McCullum coming over to Philadelphia. Like they're not gonna go for that. Well, Portland's not gonna go for that. They don't want. I mean,
I'm just saying this is all with the
maybe.
caveat that Damian Lillard is, from
Mhm.
what he's already kind of explained, is that I don't really want to be here anymore.
No, I get
If
it.
that's the case, then I think that's what makes the most sense. If
There's a
it's not, then I don't think they should trade any. I think they should go to the we're gonna just run it back type thing and do what you said, change him.
it just seems like it's more likely that at this juncture, it was what I shared it, that they would that Ben Simmons would be traded as opposed to Portland would do everything they can to keep him in Portland. That's why and but I don't negate it because he did put it out there that
You don't have a choice if
maybe
if
y'all
he comes
saying
out and
right,
physically says trade me. You
right,
have you the NBA has been in a
or
situation
lose,
where there's no possible way that you can win from that. Once he says that, he's gone. It's just a matter of time before you wake up and say, "Okay, you're right."
right. Now you might as well go and get your assets now.
Yeah. This isn't the NFL where Aaron Rodgers he hasn't technically said it, but he basically has said it that he wants to be out, and they've just been like, "Well, we're going." Like, it still seems like Green Bay has all the leverage, and it looks like Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Like I think that's the difference between the two sports.
Got it. Huh. So that model came up based on that conversation.
Yeah.
So I was like, because as I thought about it, I'm like, he actually would fit in Portland, as I thought about it. But now I'm seeing it where I was getting this story spoon fed to me.
Yeah.
But I came up with my own take from that.
Yeah.
That that's the model I like if anyone was going to move Ben Simmons out of Philadelphia, that was my only scenario of him going to Portland. We really had no other.
Yeah, people keep bringing up this Sacramento situation. I'm not busting up my young roster in Sacramento for Ben Simmons. Like, I don't see Sacramento going for that.
It's
Um,
almost be doing what Philadelphia did years
I could see Minnesota doing it with that trade with D'Angelo Russell that's been floated out there, but I also don't see that because if you're sticking with Karl Anthony Towns, he's going to be more pissed at the fact that you just traded away the guy that he went on a huge campaign for you guys to go get just what a year ago, 2 years ago.
ago. They needed a playmaker, so it just again, and that's I don't like that trade at all because I what it speaks to me is they trying to bring him in as a point guard. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. He's not a point guard. I mean, Ben Simmons will be 100 times the player he was if he was just playing the block.
Yeah. It's funny because I mean I know you don't play NBA video games or anything like that, but I when I play 2K and if I do a rebuild with Philadelphia, I immediately trade away Joel Embiid and I put Ben Simmons. I actually put him at the 3, not the 4, but it works. It's funny because his overall goes up from like a 88 or something like that all the way to like a 98.
Huh.
Like even 2K knows. Like,
Right.
and for any young people that play 2K, you know how bad 2K is. But for them to know that he's better as a 3 or as a forward in general than at the point guard, I don't see why we are having this issue in the NBA to have this such a polarizing topic of him being a 1 or a 3. Like, it
Right.
doesn't make any sense to me.
It is baffling. It is baffling.
Got any other
Did I have
scenarios?
I had a third one. It was something still with Portland, but neither here nor there. But I wanted to share that an aspect of just from taking this in this moment, if we was ever considering moving Simmons. Yeah, it has to be for the right person. It would never be for the McCollum thing. And if
Yeah.
but hear me out. If there was a trade for McCollum based on the article I seen,
Yeah.
share with you. My point was, if that's just meaning just a salary cap thing, I was like, if I'm Portland, I'm all day taking that. Because I'm gonna take him just to play and put him at the 4. Now we have a new power forward. We already have a 3, and we have our point guard. We just need to add another free agent.
Yeah.
Draft somebody.
Bring back Nurkic.
Bring back. I'm sure Nurkic would want to come back. You got your 5 now. Him and them two down there. I'm like, Nurkic is the one that's gonna step out and shoot.
He's the other.
Stay down there. I'm just saying, it's a very good fit if you can.
Yeah.
Even if it only costs him color, I'm like, oh my god. I know what you were saying. You looking at it from the Philadelphia. I was not looking at it from the Philadelphia.
No, I get what you. Yeah, if I'm Portland, yeah, that makes all the live long day. I'm taking that trade, but right. I don't see Daryl Morey being that naive to the fact that yes, I'm selling Ben Simmons low right now.
Right. And they're not going to do that. I mean, it's all this little chatter, but get real. Like, it makes no sense why y'all would sit there and just be like, oh, we're just going to just move on from them. And then y'all already talking about possibly working with his, changing his hand and shooting. You're not doing that if you're trying to get rid of him.
Yeah.
You don't care at that point.
Because I think we're sitting at a point where they're like, we can't move off of him.
I wouldn't. I mean, that's what our.
But at the end of the day, yeah.
Right. But it was just like, okay, let's flirt around with this for a little bit.
And I've only seen outside of me and you on Ben Simmons being the guy that you should build around. I've only seen one other person have that same take, and it's some dude on the dead hours of ESPN, Sirius XM radio. Like,
that's why
he's the only person that I've ever heard,
because they get to say whatever they want during those hours. You get to have those hot takes.
Exactly.
All kind of crazy stuff.
But it's not crazy. It makes total sense.
It's crazy in radio.
True. Well, I think we can wrap up today's show.
Yes.
You basically, guys, just let us know what you think down below, because especially with this Philadelphia situation, like, it's just let us know about that. Please like, rate, and subscribe to the show, and then also make sure that you guys share the podcast and go follow us over on Twitter as well. Did you have a question of the day or no? Not today.
It's a quick one. It's a Ben Simmons.
Okay.
It's gonna be very basic. It's not gonna be should Ben Simmons be in Philadelphia? Ben Simmons, should he be playing the 1, or should he be playing his natural position as the 4? Why or why not?
Ben Simmons 1 or 4, why or why not? Let us know down below and over on Twitter if that's easier for you. It's been a long one, but we enjoyed it, and thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.